Welcome to TDD.Academy. This is your host, Lancer Kine, and your co-host over here, solopreneur David Kuntz.
Hello. How's it going, Lance?
It's going well, David. This is the part of the show where you get to fill time while I check our live stream to make sure our audio is coming over loud and clear.
All right. Well, put my screen up on the screen so that people can see, because we're going to do some of reverse TDD of the last method, this add project method.
You mean we're not done?
No, we're not done. No, we're not even close to done. But with this sort of segment, we might be done. But we've got one more method here to test called the add project method in the Ultimate Portfolio app by Paul Hudson. And so that's the code we're going to try and reverse TDD.
Wow, how did you know we didn't cover that?
Well, because I know what we've talked about and what we haven't talked about and what we've covered and what we haven't.
You didn't use a code coverage tool for that, did you, David?
I have not. No. Why do you mention something like that? I wonder what code coverage would say about this.
I have no idea. It would probably could be completely agreeing with you, David, or disagreeing. I have no idea.
Do you know how to turn that on? Let's do that.
Let's see if I remember.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Here in the product in xCode, you hold down the Option key. And when you hold down the Option key, you get different options. And then you click Test. And then the Test option thingamajob comes up. And in it is a checkbox for code coverage down here. See this line?
All right.
You check that code coverage, and then you don't want to test all targets. You want to test just your products. So you open up some targets, and you select just your target, your application, so that you don't test your test, I think is the thing. So that turns on the code coverage runner, and this is all the stuff it's trying to run my test. Edit schema. Okay, I got to what's going on here. Okay, close that then, and I gotta come up here and switch to the test schema, I guess, and then I can run the test. But I also want to turn on in the editor. I want to click this code coverage so that it'll show me the code coverage when it actually runs the test. So here, we'll run the test now. And it should show us, wow, code coverage. I always forget about code coverage tool. Why do people not use it very much, Lance?
You know what? It probably ought to be on by default. That would help. I mean, why not?
On by default.
We have a test schema. Why isn't that button always checked? If it doesn't cost us anything, so that I don't know if it costs us anything. I don't know if it actually requires it to work a little harder or not.
Well, it obviously costs some build time or something, I suppose. And here in my test, I think the test ran, but I'm not seeing the output of code. Okay, so here's the code coverage is turned on.
If you go to, there's another code. There's a view. Let's see, I can't quite figure out. Okay. Somewhere. Yeah, there, okay, and then one of those buttons up there will take you to the code coverage report, and I think it's the one with all the lines beneath it. If you hover, so there you see log, build. The coverage report should show up in here.
Yeah, so it's not showing up, which makes me think I didn't do something right.
Maybe try
I'm going to go back in here to option test. And see, now it's off. So I turned it on the wrong thing, apparently.
Oh, there we are. This looks
okay.
more. Oh, don't forget to check that box beneath targets where it says Ultimate Portfolio. There we are.
That's not a checkbox. That's the blank icon that doesn't have anything there. But good call.
Now we guys see a coverage report showing up in that list of documents.
Okay. And it's going to run all the tests again. Test succeeded. And now I get the over here. Yep. Okay.
Ooh, we get some red block there.
Red bars. Yeah. So I had that folded up. Looks like
knit doesn't catch its catch.
And knit gets most of it, except we're not ever calling our catch block, which is probably okay.
Do we ever test what's going on in the knit, David?
No, we don't actually test what happened in the knit, but it gets run, and so it's covered. Okay. But we never test anything about it. I don't think we have any tests in here in our test that are testing inits.
Let's see. Looks like the init is initializing data controller, show close project, and creating a request on line 30. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I don't think we ever. We have no asserts about anything in the init.
And then add project is red, so I guess that's what it's saying is we definitely do not test add project. And although it appears we have coverage on the knit, we probably don't really test that
either. And we've got coverage on add item and delete.
Nice. Wait a minute, wasn't that like episode 1 and 2 of more reverse TDD?
You're right on it, man. You're always such a good host. You know exactly what's going on. Yeah, we've got, we did that just last time, so we've got green bars there. I find this interesting. It'll show me red, but it doesn't default and show me green. That would help out, xCode. Come on. I have to hover over that in order to get the greenness. That's kind of...
I like our comment down on 77 says, IO methods we will not test, but might mock out, which is exactly what happens. So it's natural that those would have are red, although 90 is red as well. I'm not sure 90 is one of the ones that we're mocking. I think that one's just...
I don't know where the control did change. I think that was part of...
Can we move that above?
That was part of
the delete that comment on 77 because I don't think that we consciously care about. I mean, it's possible we should test that, but so.
Oh, you're saying move it? I didn't hear that. Okay.
Because we know we'll never test delete item, save item, and save item directly because those are methods there for the purpose of partial mocking this whole class. All right.
Yep. Okay. So so that leaves us with this one big block here that, oh, sorry, wrong one, that one, that we need to write tests for. And
I suppose we should.
Here's all our test class up here, and we actually have a little stub for add project. Wow. And it actually passes right now, so I don't guess there's anything we need to do.
Except,
can we go home?
So, except, well, you know, if we care about the code coverage report, I guess what we're learning is if it's red, it's serious, folks. We know that that wasn't covered by a automated test. And if it's green, it might be covered in a sense, but it might not be. So you have to ask yourself some tough questions. So like our knit block, we have some tough questions about that. But definitely have not covered it. So let's cover it.
Yep. So so add project is the thing there, and I don't know. Maybe you want to drive and do this stuff, or do you want me to? Let me do the first step because that's always the fun part that I cringe at, and and I'm so good at it.
Oh, commenting out the code. You're right. Yeah, I never remember that keyboard shortcut. Yeah.
So there's our code fails now. I suppose if we had a cert on
I guess
something.
we better write a failing test case, huh? Let's see. Do
you want to drive?
Sure. I guess. Why not? Let's see how I do here.
See, if it were me, I'd go copy and paste some stuff.
I'm seeing a pattern here. That one I've highlighted. I'm trying to see if it's everywhere. I don't really see it. Is it in here too? Let view model, partial mock. Okay, is it exactly the same? Yeah.
It's going to be the same.
So let's go ahead and use a, before we even get into that, let's add a, oh boy, see if I know how to do this in xCode. Is it before? I'm going to make this up.
Oh, you're wanting the, oh no, it's, it won't come to me. You know how to figure this out? The easy way is add another test method, another test class, and xCode will drop in all those methods for you, and then we'll know what the method name is. See it.
Yeah, go ahead. Otherwise, I have to ask my friend Google. My friend Google's really smart. He knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go here and create a new unit test class, and I'm gonna call it delete me. And let it put it in here.
Yeah, folks, if you know a better shortcut to get xCode to tell you what the super classes, the interface is to base. I'm guessing these are interfaces to base test cases. That would be awesome.
Well, base test case is a Paul Hudson thing that then overrides the other test case, which is the factory standard.
David, you're not going to believe this, but I got a call from somebody about a house I'm closing on. I probably ought to take the call. Go ahead. You take over for a minute.
Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, I'll keep going here because I think I know where he was going. He wanted to override the setup with errors so that he could put in this class. You're on the air, it sounds like, Lance.
I'm going to fix it. One moment. Hello. I'm doing good, thank you.
So I think what Lance was going to do was drop this view model into the setup for each test run. It calls a setup with error or setup, and then we'll get that property then here. Will that property be given to us in here? What is it we're going to do? Add project.
Yeah, they might be closed, but I'll call and see. So I might not be able to. Yeah. Okay.
And view model is not there, so I got to get view model in my.
Cool. I'll call them right after this. And then FYI, GG, I don't know what document
model is going to be a. View model is going to be a. It's a weird class in here. It's project view model.
Okay.
So project.
Okay. Well, here I better give them a call. So I'll bring up the phone and bring them up right away. Cheers. Bye-bye.
And then I got to get rid of the let there because I think close that window. I think that ought to make us more happy. Can I assign what? Can I assign view model? Yeah, I just fixed that. Oh, var. I need a var in there. Put my var back in there. There we go. Okay. Now I can do the view model in this class, and we need to
Hi, Samantha. This is Lance Kind. I just got a call from the mortgage company.
We can take this out.
I was. They want to close the house on 5/3, and maybe I told you. I know. I said 5/5, but I was wrong. They have it under contract for 5/3. So if let's see, today is Friday. So whenever you get into the office, go ahead and send them an updated policy with the transfer of, with the start of the insurance for 5/3, and then everything should be all happy. Okay, and I'll go ahead and respond over email too, so that you have all the people that need to be informed of this, which is the mortgage folks. Diane Westerback is the woman who was working with you about that. Okay, sorry about that, and I'll chat with you later. All right, bye-bye. Okay.
You back, Lance? All right. Tell me what's going on with these error messages. I think I've just created a view model parameter.
Why does it say setup with error?
I set. Pardon?
Setup
Where's
with
that?
Error?
Oh,
the with error part is.
Yeah, that. Yeah, that's the name in the Swift land.
Okay.
So here's the delete me test with the standard stuff.
Oh, wow. There we are. Okay. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. So, okay. And then you have some error messages that are bothering you. So it says, view projects, view model has no member. So view model is declared up above, and it's of type projects view model, but it's claiming that the interface isn't the one that's the mock interface. So the mock interface version is, I think the type is wrong. So partial view mock is what you want to create it up there. Oh, you did that. I see line 19 says partial mock view model. So that looks right. And
but I've got it wrong here then. Is that right?
Yeah, because everything in this test will want to talk to the partial mock. There we are.
Okay.
Now what? Something about view.
Oh, this is so.
I think you just need partial mock view model, and you can delete the dot stuff after it, because you're inheriting from partial mock view model, not partial mock view model dot view model. So just delete the text here. Let me hit delete for you while you got it. Do you want?
Right there.
No, I don't. Okay, I have to see the class that's declared. All right, take a look at line 50, and you see line 50, it says partial mock view model. So that's what that should say, partial mock view model without the dot.
You're saying right here, this line. Oh, sorry. Undo that. Yeah.
So copy that and paste it on line 19, or sorry, line 16. Okay. And then delete the dot stuff, dot and all that other stuff. No, it should be good.
Oh man, that's okay. And that's working. So that's weird. Okay, so okay, so I've refactored that into a setup successfully, and I've commented these out, so I'm going to go back and delete them.
How come? Do you think that red X is old and old news, and it hasn't cleaned it up yet?
Oh, I do not know.
This is also an initializer.
let me see. How could I get rid of? Has no initializer.
Click on that X, see if it wants to fix it.
No, it's because it's showing us the whole thing.
So does Paul usually have an initializer for his base test case?
No, it's never had one.
Okay, we'll save it.
No, I don't know where.
See if it goes away, because it seems like it wants one, and we'll have to give it one if it doesn't go away.
Okay, building the test. Build for testing. It comes right back.
So we need to put an initializer, is what it's telling me, and just put a init function in there, and I don't know why with the excuse me.
It's going to guide me through. Until I get it right. Property self-view model not initialized at superinit call. I do not understand.
So
self-view model.
You want to say your
view model is a class.
Excuse me, I'm going to have to go get water. Excuse me.
I'm confused here as to whether or not is it view model class has an init. I'm confused as to whether what this means. Property self view model, not initialized at superinit. One class has to initialize the other classes. I'm guessing.
Line 16 needs to be initialized to either a null or initialize it in an initializer. So you can't. You don't really want to do that. You want to initialize the variable. You don't want to declare the variable. Wow.
You're saying this needs to move into the init?
Here, let me try a second here. Or no, except that it has to be an optional, so that's a little annoying. But the problem is, so we have a var, and the var isn't initialized, and so Swift says, hey, you got to initialize that. If we initialize it, I'm afraid it has to be an optional if I do that. So maybe I initialize it twice by putting that.
Okay.
It's kind of annoying. I'm not sure what the best workaround is. Then I don't have to do optionals. Then my setup does it again, so that's a little weird, but anyways, I think that'll compile.
And that's because of the inner class thing there that is kind of above my pay grade, but thank you.
It's like that. So look at line 16. That's a var, and vars need an initializer. Or they need to be initialized either with an equals right on that line, or they need to be initialized by an init. As an experiment, if you want to bear with me,
I see.
This. I believe this will work as well, and then we can delete the init. But all of it's sort of annoying because we're going to overwrite it anyhow with set up with error, but it can't know that. It doesn't know that we got a contract with this object. So I bet that'll compile too.
Okay.
Oops. Whatever. I'm not sure what. So that I didn't build there. So it's building.
So
not building.
Build for testing. So, okay. Thank you for straightening that out. For now that you've done it and I see it, I'm starting to piece together what was going on there. The inner class has to get initialized also at initialization time.
Well, I wouldn't attach it to the word inner class. It's anything. Let's see if I can drive still here. Anything with this. Oops. No, let me shrink the screen. Anything with this. Any property needs to be initialized before the class can work with it.
Okay.
And this one doesn't have an equals after it until I move this equals after it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I was cleaning up then, so I can clean up this stuff down here too. And let me see, there's one more. Yeah, right here, there's a view model. So you've now successfully factored out the view model setup because you don't like duplicating code as much as I do. Oh, and we were almost done when equals has to have.
That was my mistake. I was doing camera work and I had my,
All right. Now, man, you got a frog in your throat there.
It's a mint leaf from mint julep. So.
Oh, was it? It's stuck in your throat, huh?
Yeah.
That's you're wearing a red shirt and I'm wearing a red shirt, so I'm just saying you're coughing.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah. All right, so you factored out the view model. That was a little bit tougher than I thought it was, but
did we get it all out?
Is
it out of everywhere?
It is, yeah.
All right. What else?
Okay. What else are you going to do now?
Let item now. Let item 1 on line 31 and 48 are the same. And can you let me scroll a little bit more? Let item. No let item there.
No items there.
So let that go. I think. I mean, for sure, that's used everywhere. After that, I'm not sure. So I think we're done. So.
Oh, so you're suggesting we move a lit item out also?
No, I'm not married to that concept because it's used in 2 of 3, right? It's not used in 100%, and if there's no magic ratio here, but if it's used in a lot of places, I would move it. In 2 of 3, I'm not quite sure I'm tilting that way yet. So when we write this test, though, let's see what happens. Excuse me. When we write add project, test function add project. So this is the one we're writing right now.
Yep.
And okay, cool. So let's see. So we have our view model now, and we want to test this add project, which is commented out, and it doesn't take any arguments, and it looks like it's going to. We want to write a failing test case, and so one observation is it's going to call data controller save. Wow, might not be able to talk much. The other is it's setting some properties on project. Okay, so it's going to set properties on project, which sounds a lot like this one down here. This test creates a project that
Duke, hush.
That's probably going to So delete one item out of 2, create a project, and then it called project add items, pass in the item. In our case, we don't have any. Oh, are we testing line? Yeah, we're testing line 60. and we're testing that we can add a project and save it. All right, well, let's just go with the flow here and see what happens. So view model.add project, which is going to call the real add project, and now we have to figure out how to write an assert. Test assert true.
Duke. No.
Set equals probably better. Equal. Now we have to figure out how to fill something in there. So save item. Do we already mock that? I'm going to check our mock object, see what we're doing with save item. So in our partial mock and save item, we're keeping a spy on save item saved. So I'm going to ask our spy for some information and see if I can get to the failing test case that way. So spy is let view model dot spy save item saved. Now save item has a project. And project has it apparently closed to set the false for some reason. That looks like the first easiest thing to check. So we say assert equal closed is false. Okay. It's possible that test will pass because that's the default, but let's find out. Oops.
Can I fix your test here? It's xct. Dang it. xct assert.
Yeah. Let's
right.
see if it fails. That's a pretty easy test so far. 2 lines.
You want me to run it?
Baby. Let's see what happens. Oh, I hope I didn't hit a 0 in there. All right, good. What do you think, David? You gonna put some money on this?
No,
Oh, come on!
I'm already.
Get the wallet open.
Okay, I'll have to go get my money bag. Test failed. I think it's going to fail.
I think it's going to fail. Well, agree. We got a failing test case, and we wrote 2 lines of code. What the heck? Isn't that easy? I mean, you got to admit.
That was not the easiest thing in the world to ever do.
2 lines of code,
I'll tell you that. 2 lines of code, and we're already messed up the code. It's already failing, and it's failing because it gets a nil.
That's okay because save isn't called, so I think that's to be expected. The failure is to be expected, and so now we need to add a little code back in, and we need to add in the code that creates a project because we need a project. So you can add in line 61.
You're suggesting to add in that
and
line.
Line 62.
Come on. Come on. Let me 61. And 62.
And if we don't put in 64, it still will, our spy won't know about it. So we need to add in 64 because our spy requires us to have that line in. Okay, now let's see if it passes. You want to put some money on this, David? What do you think? I'm gonna say $1 that it passes.
On what?
$1 of Singapore dollar. A Singapore dollar that this one passes.
I don't know what that's worth. That might be worth a lot of money. I'll go with false. I think it's going to fail.
Oh, I lost a Singapore dollar. What the hell? All right. Let's see why it failed. It still is nil, huh? Nil is not equal to optional false. So is it saying project is nil or closed is nil?
Well,
what does that mean?
It's not specifying which one of those optionals is nil, but nil is not going to be equal to false in in this
Let's
universe.
see. Let's go look at our mock object here. I'm going to drive a second and go to spy item save.
Yeah.
Spy item save says what? Spy item. So saved item. Is it calling the save item with one item? If I go over to this line of code, oh, it's not. Look at this. This is a save without any arguments. Oh. Oh. And we don't over.
Yeah.
I don't think we over. Ah.
We have not overridden that save method.
Okay.
Data controller save.
So we have to use the same strategy we were using with the other other methods that deal with I/O, such as delete, uses save item. So if we just look down here at save item, that would solve our problem, right? So we need to refactor this code to use.
If we refactored save item to just save, right there in the code.
We want to change this line to be save item, right? Oh, but is it item to save? Let me back it out. So it's just doing save, but we know we need access to the item as well for this test to be able to have a spot. So we have to call save item and then pass in the item.
Only we don't have an item. We ought to call the empty one. Empty parameters, no parameters.
Then we lose our ability to spy. So.
Oh, I see. Here. Okay. So then we want to pass in the project and spy on the project, not the item.
So, because item isn't going to work for us, right? Is item lower level than project or higher level than project?
Every project contains items. Well, no. The items are contained by a project.
Items are contained.
So we could add an item in there in our test and pass it in, but that's kind of violating all the rules you've been trying to teach me.
We're going to call add project, but this is the problem. We have to get to this. We have to spy on this project some way, and to make it testable, we either use this item to save, which I don't know if that makes sense because I'm confused still. Did you say items contained within a project?
Correct.
So I think we need to pass in project. Because we don't care about the item. All right, so we're going to have to add a new one of these. A little sad about that, but I'm not sure what to do about that other than this. So we need a version that takes a project, which is what you said earlier, but I wasn't quite caught up with that. So project, let's see, this is project to save, which is a project. And then everything's good. And then call.
Change the name from save item to save project, please.
All right, save item to save project here. Save project. Okay. Well.
Now that'll call this save project down here, which will actually save it. Where do we intercept that? And,
yeah, no, you're right.
And set
we need to update our mock object to put a spy on it. Oh, I forgot to check see if the coast was clear. Do you want to drive for a bit?
Okay. Project and then save item. I'm going to make a up here at the top item. Oops. That was the wrong thing to do. Okay, I am going to say project spy. that an optional project. Project saved will now be an optional project, just like this one. I'm going to rearrange these because they just kind of are out of order in my little pea brain.
Yeah, agree.
And that ordering makes better sense. And then this has to be project saved.
Ooh, that was a sneaky copy-paste error that got stuck in there. The copy-paste cop would have said, "See, I told you, son. Stop copy-pasting. You just copy-paste your bugs."
Yeah, I don't believe in that cop. Method does not override any method. Save project is not overridden. Yes, there's a save project.
We haven't we haven't built or saved the files. Maybe that's why it's saying that. I don't know how good eggs.
Okay, so this is the test class, so I can do build test and see if it'll love me. And we've got a successful build. Okay, so we have a successful build. We have a save project that spies, and it turns project to saved, and it saves that as the project.
Yeah, we need to change our spy.
Yeah. We change our spy?
Our spy in the test needs to be updated because we have a new spy to talk to. Up in, find our test at the top there. And there we are. Line. We have spy item saved, and oops. And now we need to
go ahead and drive.
Wait for the spy item saved. Spy project saved. Dot. Not project anymore. Probably that. Well, when I hit butterfly B, what does that do? Just does build. All right. Schema test is not configured for running. Schema test has nothing configured to build for running and has no. I just told it to build. I don't know why it complains to me in this manner. Why am I being treated this way, David?
I don't know. Yeah, do the build for testing.
I don't know that anything will come of it, and that's absolutely great.
All right, build succeeded. Really? Build succeeded. Oh, that's because of the test run.
Okay, but that was just the build, but it's didn't clean up the. Okay.
Come on, baby. Go green. Oh, there's a green checker right off the bat. You see that? The test is already passed. I don't know why the others took longer. Something unhappy happened there. What happened? So this test
is still testing. It hasn't finished testing yet.
Wacko going on. It can't be that slow. We've got an infinite loop or something. What in the world?
I think it's stuck somewhere.
Delete first item. All right, let's just quickly try again and see if they get a different result.
Well, you're going to have to stop them, or okay, replace them.
Might have things in a bad state or something.
Oh, and then it's getting to this thread data controller.
All right, so here's what I would do before we get tied up in too much. First of all, we'll just turn this off. How do we do skip again? You have to click on this. Disable it. And on the tests. So I hope it's actually disabled. I can't tell.
Yeah, it's grayed out over here on the left menu bar. You've disabled that function, but it seems to have no indication in the code. But
let's see, stop. Oops, sorry. What was the stop? I guess it's stopped now. All right. Run tests is just without the shift.
okay, so it's building again, but it's only, I don't know what build you ran, but I think that's only building the production code, not the test code.
Yeah, I just did run. I didn't do a build. I just did a run, which usually builds as well. Could be mistaken, but that's what I usually do. Okay, delete first item. So add projects disabled. So I think our refactoring mucked something up, is what I would say. So we need to go check out what we've done over here. All right, so the changes we made is we added this, save project to save, data controller save, and we did reverse the add project. Okay, so David, there's a possibility that because we took out the add project functionality, maybe some of the other tests require that. I'm not sure. Did we? So when we commented this out, did we ever run the test to see how they behave?
I don't know if we did.
No, either. So I guess I could turn it either all on or turn it all off and see what happens. Because the only thing we changed here is this call to save project. And save project is calling data controller save. And alright, so I'm going to do the option of adding it all in and seeing if the tests behave differently, and then we'll take it back out.
Okay. That seems like a.
Stop that. I can probably ask again. I don't know about that. I don't know why that would cause a problem.
All right, it's testing.
Well, unexpectedly found nil while implicitly unwrapping an optional value, and it's in tests. Fatal error, unexpectedly found nil while implicitly unwrapping an optional value. So it's on test delete first item started. Test delete first item. Do you have a test called that? Yeah, that's this one. Oh, data controller. So what is it? Unexpectedly found nil while implicitly unwrapping an optional value. I don't know what optional value it's talking about.
Can I grab your cursor for a minute and pick that one? Unexpected. I'm guessing it's data controller is saying it's an optional value, but that doesn't jive, does it?
No, let's see. All right, up here it says view model, partial, blah, blah, blah. Why that says that, that's weird looking. All right, go to the pretty list. I don't think there's any optional values up there, but there are optional values in the mock, in the partial mock. And this init isn't doing anything too special. And spy was called, okay, it was just at the false. Spy project saved is an optional value. Oh, okay, so it's an optional value here, and it's only going to be set when save project's called. And the test it's failing on is here. What line is that?
It's not failing on that test. Test 1 item out of 2 is not the one that's failing. It's failing on delete item first. Yeah.
Okay. And data controller.container.view context. Let's click on Milo. So this happened on line 49. So it seems like data controller or container or view context are nil. Is that possible? Data controller is instantiated as the partial view mock. Container is something that, I don't know what container is. And then view context. I don't know. I can't figure that out. Why that's
so the thing we've done recently here, and probably didn't rerun this test, is we factored out some of those things we put in setup.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, we probably forgot to run the test there, huh? Okay, so let's put the code back in that function then. This one here.
Yeah.
Because this is all we did. Didn't we just copy this out?
I think so.
Let's just do it again here.
Although it could have been, it could have been slightly different, but I think, well, that creates the view model, and the data controller.
Now, where's data controller coming from?
Did it have a data controller in it?
Where's data controller? Data controller. Where is data controller instantiated? Ask the IDE.
Okay.
That's a base test case.
It's like a one.
Base test case. So does the other one?
Yeah, put one by the window. Well, that's what you do is you're getting on.
It's a little.
Does ours come from base test case?
Yeah. We're inheriting from it. Oh, does our test case comes from base test case? Right. Whoops, I'm not in the right file.
I'm confused which one's where.
So
base test case. So we get our
data controller from that. So this data controller comes from the superclass. Okay, and
it's optional. See that pound after?
Well, it's like guaranteeing it's not optional. It's guaranteed to be there. I'm not sure what that's called.
Yes.
That's.
Yeah, it's an optional. It's something I'm unoptionalizing it.
And then data controller. All right. So, what and it gets instantiated. I don't know how it gets initialized, but it's never given us a problem until just now. So I feel like something we changed recently must have busted it. So what we could do in test case is we just hit undo for a while until we get it working again. How about we do that? And what do you think? Because I'm just not seeing. I can't see what the problem is, and I know it used to work, right? And we can redo our changes if we have to, and maybe we won't have to redo them if we're careful with the undo.
So you're going to just undo everything back to the beginning of time here?
Up to like where the test was failing. Just the test that we were working on was failing. And then I'll redo. So if we're careful and don't type anything, we can get our redos back in. Okay, override, save project. What am I doing here? This is in the test still. All right, that's fine. So let's change our mock object. Here, let me do it. Let me do something else a little bit. I'm going to redo. Go into the future again. We're going to copy this, put it in our buffer. And if we're worried about messing it up, we can put it in a maybe another editor window. Actually, just a text edit will work.
You want to just open up Notepad? New document.
There, if we really care, then we can get it back. Okay. So back up to where we had that test passing, but our other test failing. And then we can work forward again. Okay, test add project. Test add project. Okay, that's that one. Okay, it's okay. We can have the assert in there. That wasn't working. Yeah, fix that. Okay, let's try running that test. Let's see, test. I'm going to hit don't ask again. I don't think we care about that. I think we always mean replace when we're running the test. I never thought of a time when we didn't want to replace the other test. Still having a problem. All right, so what that seems like is it isn't our test then, it's got to be our code. That's weird. Because our code, we also changed. Test delete, where's our code at? And here. So in our code, we did this refactoring as well. But there's only one caller for save project, and that it is. We're testing add project, is that right? Yeah. So it used to say something else. It used to say
no, it would have said view model, wouldn't it? It'd have been view model say damned if I know.
Well, it's whatever's down here. Data controller. Save. Okay. All right, let's try it again. Something's red, I don't know why. I think it's the same problem.
Wow. It is a ghost in the machine sort of thing here. We thought we had good running test.
Trying to decide, should we just back down to where we started at and then redo our steps, because our steps aren't very big.
Yeah, how do we revert back to the beginning of the show?
Well, I mean, when we could, is it the last check-in? Like, do we go back to source control and
No, it's not. I didn't check in, and I haven't been keeping that up.
Let's see. What else could it be? Well, we could do undo.
Undo until we get back to. I don't know if undo. When will undo stop?
Good question. I'm not sure. That varies by IDE.
I started the IDE for this session, so it can't have any undos in it past the session. So undo back as far as you can.
Like this is right here. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That should be the start of that. And I don't know if I could undo any further. I mean, I could undo to the start of the show, like we said here. Oh yeah, and then this part up here.
Yep. Go back.
Data control, test that item. Test delete first item. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, that's because we had it duplicated. Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, that's fair. We should put that back in. Maybe we're going to learn something here. And override init. Oh, that's right. We played with that for a little bit. View model. And then it goes away soon. And then I'm not sure what happens there. Oh yeah, that goes back there. Okay. Undo that. Do that. Function setup with error. This one I'm not sure about. Okay, let view model. We could do this. Oh yeah, setup with error. Okay, we'll keep going. A lot more keystrokes than I remember.
Yeah.
I'm still hitting undo. Am I at the end?
I'm hearing a dink, okay. So you're
all right,
done.
Let's run the tests. Nothing there was like shattering hard to put back in. And see if they all pass, and then we'll be more careful. I feel like we must not have run our tests after refactoring. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I think we got sloppy.
Yeah. Something tripped up something there.
Okay, good build and a test run. Oh, we've got add project. Oh, okay, we've got add project.
Test succeeded. All right. Now.
All right. Now go down to delete first item and let's look at it.
The test delete first item?
Yeah, test delete first item. We had a view model in there.
All right. As preview was true. So I'm going to start with the refactoring on this step. Okay. And then say, okay, I believe I can extract that code up above and replace a bunch of other code. So let's try that again. So this is where we went with func. Something about test error. What was that? Do you remember the syntax of that?
Oh, you want the first? Yeah, it's the setup thing. Setup with error. It's set up with error.
Oh, look at
error.
This. They're set up, and then they're set up with error. I think we got led down the wrong path, man. Because so setup is the one we want. Setup with error is when there's an error, it calls it. But if there's not an error, it won't call it. So we were recycling our mock object.
It's doing
so
what?
We want to use setup, not setup with error. Setup with error means if there's a what setup with error does, it says. I'm just reading this, what it says, provides an opportunity to reset state and to throw errors before calling each method in a test case. So I don't want to throw errors. I do want to reset state. So that part kind of makes sense. But then setup provides an opportunity to reset state before calling each test method in a test case. I definitely want setup. The with error may or may not be a problem. I'm not really sure on that, but so I was kind of thinking that setup with error was doing something else. But after I read it a few times, it looks like it could work too. But I don't know why anybody would use that. It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, you got an extra override thing in there.
I want to make sure it's overridden.
Yeah. Well, you got to spell it right on the first one. And I don't think you have to override it, do you?
So overrides with 2 R's? Yeah, okay. All right, so now this declaration needs to go outside of the class. So I'm going to copy this. Whoa, I'm getting a call from somebody. Let's take this call.
Okay, this is where we got screwed up last time because I took over for you.
I'll talk to you later. I'm going to go to the show. All right, bye-bye. Well, I didn't get him on air there, but anyways, that was my son. Okay, setup. Got to get the declaration out here. And it's going to be a var, because we're always changing that, baby. It is definitely a var. Which means every time we create a test, before we run a test, we want a fresh copy. All right, so that should handle that. Okay, now we want to run the tests. I know we're overdoing it because I didn't take out the duplicate logic yet, but we should see them all pass.
Yeah.
And why do more typing? I can just find out now.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll take smaller steps.
Yeah, when you bite off so much and you lose track of what you're doing, it's yeah. Small test, small steps. Okay, so now you've removed the view model in
this one here.
Yeah.
Not this one, but I want to.
You can take out view model there, line 89.
Okay.
And you could run the test,
Definitely run now.
or you could go up to the top one. You could go to 60.
I'm running them all, baby. Let's not mess around.
Okay. They do take a little bit longer because.
Yeah, I'd like to know why. Okay, that's good.
All right.
Let's go up higher. All right, good.
All right, still doing good.
Ta-da-da!
There's no.
Wow.
There's no views there.
Holy cow, there's a new woman out here. I don't know if she's wearing a wig or if she did cut her hair off. I think she's wearing a wig. You want to come over and show off your wig? You have to push that out of the way. Sorry.
Yeah, what are you doing there?
Oh, we're streaming. Over there.
There we go.
Hi.
Yeah.
Wait, making it up.
Sorry? I don't know. Maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I would say.
Not the real hair. I want to try short hair, but I don't want to cut my hair short, so it's a wait.
Looks good.
She's doing a live stream about fashion right now. This should be like a mod. What is it they call them? Twitch mods, where you like go join somebody else's stream. All the TDD.Academy, you go show up to the don't ever write a test first group, and then we go over there and we give them a bother, and then they come and raid us. It's called a raid. That's right.
A raid.
So I didn't change anything. Oh, that's right. I already did this one. That was the first thing we had. Was the first item, and this one is. You need some help. Okay. Have I run the test recently, David?
Yeah, you have. Line 31.
So delete this one now and see what happens. All right, test succeeded. All right, I think we're all good. Everything's passing. Now, let's do a refactoring over on Save project. And then see if the tests all pass, and then we'll add the testing we want to do. Does that make?
The add project right there. Data controller save. Yeah.
Extract this. Does this have an extract method? Let's check it out. Extract a method.
Extract
oh my
a
God.
method.
Do you see that, Ron Cortell and Joel? There is an extract method in xCode.
Yeah.
Okay,
and name your method.
Save project?
Save project. Yeah, I think so.
Project. And we'll put the arguments in a little later.
And so it's up above it. It went up above it, right there, line 16.
Private. Oh, I've never used that one. Did you know about that one?
I've seen it. I don't ever use it. It's
seems a little litigious, doesn't it? Or dogmatic.
Yeah.
It's like very orthodox. Let's check this out. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's run those tests again.
Are you going to run the test
Betcha,
again?
Man. I learned my lesson last time. Where is how come we didn't get any calls in on the show here to say,
oh, we've gotten all kinds of calls tonight.
You forgot to
run the test.
Oh.
Test succeeded.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Hey, do you mind adding in the project argument so that our spy will work? And then I'm going to help my son wants me to, just need to tap on something here for a moment.
All right, add in the project argument.
Refactored our save project.
Okay, so let me see. We want to bring in a, where is it? Was item to save. I want to do it like that. Project to save. I don't know why that looks like that, but and that's going to be a project. It'll take a project to save. Then up here, we're going to pass in the project. Like that. And now I'm going to build and run the test.
Butterfly U, baby. Butterfly U.
Butterfly U, but do you have to do the
what's up with, what's that
shift?
I didn't use the shift. I've been using Butterfly U. Maybe, you know, whatever. We'll find out in a second.
See, Butterfly U is test, which would imply you have to build first.
And it'll do that for you.
Yeah.
It's a computer. It should be able to figure that out.
I don't have to know if it's dirty or not, right? All right, so I think I got the project inserted in there, and now you want to go over and do the...
now comment out the test, comment out the code that's under test, you know what I mean? And reverse it. We'll use the right terminology here. Reverse the code.
This code.
Yeah. And now see what happens when you run the test. Because I still wonder if there's a side effect going on that we need to pay attention to. Because all the tests should pass because that code's not covered, as our code coverage tool told us. Yeah, okay. They all pass.
Test
so
ran.
Proving that our unit tests suck, that we're missing that coverage as the code coverage tool told us. So now add a test.
What was your first test? Something like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a crazy thing.
Assert equals, and we got to update our mock object too, but it's all right.
Assert equals?
Singular. Hey, I found out another test framework uses assert equal as well. What did I just use the other day? I can't remember right now. Oh, we were testing on, C#. C# deprecated assert equals. Now they're doing assert equal. So slowly and little by little, the world is teaching the dev community better grammar, I suppose.
Oh, it's a grammar problem, huh?
It was a common grammar problem.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, what did you want here? View model? Something like, was it view model? Dot.
And you'll have to invent this because we don't have it yet. Spy project was saved. Or project. Sorry, you're going to have to look it up because it isn't a Boolean. It was saved. Something like that.
Dot.
And then decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to do closed or creation date?
Closed. Is that what you're saying? Like that? And we need a view model in here. Or do we get our view model from up here? I guess. So we have to
update our mock.
So now we have to update the mock to have a spy. So where is that? Where is that?
In our test code, a partial mock in our test code.
Oh, in our test code. Sorry, I've got them map differently in my brain, and somehow they. Okay, I don't know where I am.
Right spot.
Here I am.
111. You want to add a new function, save. You got to override that. Add a new override.
Oh, you're saying come down here.
Save project. This is round 2. See if we can get a knockout this time.
Okay, and then we're going to have SAVED, saved equals project.
This one's going to be an optional colon.
Optionally.
You want a colon in there somewhere.
Okay.
Not an equals.
Expected member name.
Here, let me fix this here. That's a little bit of a typo.
What's the typo?
Instead of a colon.
Oh.
Now it should work.
Your Java is rubbing off on me, isn't it?
Don't insult me like that. I've never coded in Java in my life, man. In my life.
Oh. Okay, maybe it's coming back from a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Diet Coke is tough.
Spy project was saved. Spy project saved. I think you got it.
Okay, I'm going to hit the Control U and see what happens.
What do I expect it to do? I expect it to still fail. Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it should fail.
The test passed.
Okay, now that's possible. So 2 good news. Number one good news, we don't have that threading problem, which cropped up and sidelined us. So we rather than sit there and run debugger, folks, we just undid the code because we didn't make a lot of steps. So we just backed up and undid the code, started from scratch, because why spend, you never know how long it'll take you to debug some of those weird things, but it's easy. You do know how long it takes to roll back. And then we didn't make a lot of steps when we discovered this problem, so we just redid the steps. So now we finally got to where we wanted to be, which is, hey, that happens. And we discovered that the default of that Boolean already is false. So even if we've, I don't know if we've uncommented the code or not, it doesn't know, how do I say it? It doesn't know that it doesn't care, because whatever it's testing, it's still true. So it's, wait a minute. It should be assert equal false, not true. Hold on a second. David. Look at
David.
Did you just change that? Oh, I'm sorry.
I did.
I looked away and
you looked away, and I changed it and reran the test to make sure that it failed.
Well, it's supposed to set to false. It didn't require us to change it to false, possibly because its default is false. It's possible that line 63 isn't necessary, or it's possible that there are projects that aren't set to false, and it wants to guarantee they're false. Wow. So what does that mean? That means we really want to be able to test a project that's not equal to false, to test that line of code. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's move on to date. Okay?
You want to now test the date?
Because, yeah, change that. I thought 25 would be the easiest, but it isn't. So the problem is we need to figure out how to inject a project that has a project code. Between you and me, I don't know that line 63 is necessary. So look at this thing. It says when you create a new project with the view controller, from the view controller, it might be set to some other state than false. And the only way to test that line is to pass in a project that, or get a project out of the what is that? Project instantiation.
It creates a project and associates it with the database.
That's it. Okay. So here's the thing. how do we know that the default isn't always false and that line 63 is redundant? Can we determine that by going and look at the initializer on project? I want to go look at the initializer on project because this is silly.
No, I don't think you can, but you can try. Go ahead.
I need to find an uncommented initializer.
Because that's, you'd have to uncomment the line, I guess.
There's a project. Let's go open and
okay.
jump to definition. Because if an initializer says it's always set to false, and it's not. All right.
See, it's core data managed class.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. You know, off the top of my head, it's going to be a little difficult to uncomment 63 right now, because it's already set to false. How would we make it call? We have to get the.
We could inject the error.
Hmm?
We could inject the true to it.
How? I don't understand. Can you show me?
Yeah. I'm suggesting that to test, we can inject this.
Okay.
And expect the faults, and it'll fail, right?
Yeah, it should. Let's see.
I mean,
actually, it won't fail. There's another trick going on there, but it's okay. We'll work it out. Yeah, we're entering in a sort of a strange place, but let's see how it goes.
Okay, the build failed. The build failed because cannot find project.
62.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's true. And it still failed because our spy won't get it till we hit 65. That's okay. I want to see these steps slowly like you're doing it.
All right, and the test failed even though we're, yep, and we set the true, and we got a nil, which is not false, not a
our
true.
spy isn't set until you hit 65, so put 65 in. This still might work out.
I don't think we set a spy. Oh, yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah, the spy's like loafing about, waiting for something to happen. But now it'll happen, and now we should get a proper assertion failed. It didn't. It was a nil still.
One didn't go away. And we got
all right,
nil.
this is a real problem. Why is it nil? Project save is. So spy project is equal to nil. We need to look into this. So let's double check. We have to double check our code because something's not working. Right.
All right, when we call save project, I don't think we call. Yes, here we go. Yep. I get these things confused. We do call save project from add project. Now, and save project is here.
I want to see if it's down here now. Oops. Click over here. Come on. Save project says project to save project. And then it'll call data controller save. But instead over here, it'll just fly.
But it's not save. It's not associating which save project is running.
Well, it should be this one. It's overridden. But we'll confirm that because it acts like it isn't. So I see. It smells like something we ran into last week, but I can't quite remember what it was. So we have override. We say what the function is, and the API is the same. So we should be overriding it right here. So I'm going to put a breakpoint and go back up to here. And there's our test. Run that test here. And it should hit the breakpoint. Oh, no. Okay. We forgot to call our thing under test. That's what it's not. Why it's not working. We're not calling our test the object under test yet. What are we testing again? We're testing
add project.
Okay. All right. Now that'll probably have to back up and redo a few things. But Let's see what happens here. Let's go, Butterfly U. Wow, Butterfly U did that? Apparently I'm supposed to be doing shift Butterfly U because that's not what I wanted to have happen. Now I see testing running. Test is Butterfly U. Why did that happen?
You're in the main class there. You probably just want to shut that window down. Yeah, that X.
I don't know what happened. Okay, test failed. Okay, I'm gonna rerun it just because there's a lot of stuff that happened there. Click.
All right, so we're testing again. We're testing all of the classes, right?
All right.
Hit the break point.
And continue. And it might fail. I kind of hope that it's passing.
And remember, we put the true in. Yep, we got the true this time.
Yeah. Okay, so now we. So I want to back up a second. I want to go back to. Yes, false. Okay, I see what your point. I mean, where you're headed is that this might pass now. All right, let's find out. I'm going to run them all, or I'm going to run those.
Test succeeded, but there's still red X's.
That made no sense. There's a little bit of some rough edges to work out in xCode, I'd say. Okay, let's just get rid of this.
This is the newest, latest version of xCode, by the way.
Version there ever was.
This is 12.5 xCode. I just updated it this morning.
You probably had to do that because I haven't updated it this morning. All right, well, it passed, David.
It passed.
Yes. I'm going to run all of them just because I'm that careful. We end up...
Yeah, I noticed that you're a very careful
After I got
guy. You don't
in one show, I thought, well, that's probably...
You don't trust me or the compiler. All right, but we still have a commented out line, right?
Sorry, you want to drive?
No, I want you to drive.
I'm in the test. I don't want this. I want this. Yeah, there it is. Cool. We just need to add another assert, David. That's easy peasy, man.
Oh, okay. Add that assert if you think it's that easy peasy.
I think it's a great, when you can see that your test cases have like only 3 lines of code and they're making you work this damn hard. Guess what, folks? That's not a lot of test code to maintain. So that this is a powerful system. When 3 lines of code make you work that hard, you didn't have to spend a lot of effort to get those. You didn't have to spend a lot of time writing the automation. You didn't have to spend it.
So view models by project saved dot date. And now how are you going to test the dateness?
Creation date.
I think it's called creation date. Sorry.
What's it going to be equal to, Dave?
I don't know. It'll be equal to today.
Dun. This is
That's what I didn't want to drive.
Object problem, bro. Yeah,
is it?
So classic. Wow.
Is this so classic that I should know this?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so what are you saying?
We have to reference a coding story about called TDD to mocking. At the end of the show, we'll talk about that, and then people can go try this out. So, anyways, what this means is, since we could put a date in here, what do we do? Just put this in? You think that'll work? Date.
I don't know.
Is that a struct? Does it automatically populate with the date if I put the struct in there? I doubt it, but let's find out. Bill failed. Bill. Say like, you can't do that, you silly person.
I don't think it's going to allow you to just put in a...
Yeah, it's just a type. Okay. So how do I get the date?
You want to instantiate one, and you could maybe put parens on it.
Could even give it some parens, I suppose. Maybe that makes the date happen. All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Damn it! That was a butterfly U, I swear. And it brought up the... Maybe I'm hitting Alt, though. It's possible I'm not hitting the butterfly button. Test succeeded. Well, that's not good. All right. I expected that not to pass. So...
But it would pass because date, assuming date's not a date time.
That's true.
Today is today, and we created it and we ran it today, and it would... We
don't need that line of code then.
We don't need that line of code? Oh. Oh, that's weird.
All right.
That's weird. Wait a minute. That's weird.
But it's not necessarily weird. It could actually... I'm hoping that Paul Hudson wrote extra code in here that he didn't need. But I'm a little suspicious. So here's what I'm going to do. Can I do that? Is there a .to string or something I have to call? Or do I just do the comparison? I'll just do the comparison, see if it passes or fails. Bill failed. All right. So what type is date? All right, so how do I convert this to a string?
Description right there. Second one down.
I don't know why it opens that thing.
But yeah, I don't know why it's going to the simulator when it's a unit test, and yeah, that's weird. It's still testing, isn't it?
Oh, you're right.
But you closed the simulator, so you might have screwed it.
Wow.
You clicked around too much, man. I think you need to stop everything and get out of the car.
Test failed.
And go up. Test failed. Which test failed? Didn't tell us.
As far as I know, they'll pass. That's what the UI is telling me. All right, I hit the button on the rerun the test. Man, I need some water. Come on, baby.
Is your mint
Oh,
julep
it's all gone, man. I guess I got.
Not doing well. All right, you've got a equals is not equal.
Look at that! It's got time in there.
Oh, it does have time in there.
So why?
Okay, so
how is it possible that the other one passed?
It doesn't now. What's it say? Click on its error message there. Nil.
All right, let's try this again.
It's weird that it passed one time.
I don't know what to say. Let's run this again. That's all I can say. Yeah, that's what we wanted to happen
and
earlier.
Now it's failing.
Okay, cool. This is what I expected to have happen. No. Okay. All right, now.
Okay.
So if I put this in there, any bets on it's going to pass or not?
You're expecting that. I think that will fail because the time's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
And then there are tests succeeded. How about that?
Don't trust that. I don't even know what's. I think Bill. Where's the test?
You gonna run that one again?
Build succeeded. That I believe. I think xCode's a little bit slow. So. Test succeeded.
And a test succeeded.
And it doesn't update the UI. That's just driving me nuts.
Can I close this thing? I want that to go away because if it succeeded and has an error message there, it's like
it's lying to you.
It's almost telling me it didn't run it.
It's 2 stories, isn't it?
And now it failed, and it failed with 713, 713 is not equal to optional. Optional 21.5.
Okay, what did I miss? 21.5. All right, there it failed for a proper reason. Well, I've got, or did it? Let's see.
No, that's not a proper reason.
Really close, isn't it? But it's not. It's a text representation.
How can it?
So it might be checking that the instances are the same. I mean, well, okay. This is probably from Java, though. Not that I'd ever coded that. But why? So the text representation looks the same.
Yes. Okay. And you're suggesting that the test representation is not the full, it's testing at the integer level?
Or maybe it's checking the references. I don't work with, okay, let's do an experiment. So if we go to XTC assert equals.
Oh yeah.
It should work.
If it's equal, is it, if date equal has a, yeah, I don't know how to say that, but is it testing the references are the same or the data the same? And I'll tell you something else, that I think there's some methods or functions in xCode that allow you to say within a range.
Okay.
And we learn how to do that one day.
Whoops. I'm a puzzle person. Here, let's do this. Back over there. Oh, semicolon. All right, let's see if that passes. Butterfly, U, with a shift. Can't remember with the shift or without the shift now. Build for. The shift means build. Okay, so it just builds. Succeeded.
Test succeeded, but it didn't mark them green. I think there's a bug in 12.5.
Yeah, I feel like this kind of happens sometimes with the old build, but today it seems like it's happening an awful lot, right?
Yeah.
What if I run them all? That change will it make it reset things?
I read in the release notes for 12.5 xCode that they did something with clearing, you know, there's this problem where it leaves these messages up, and there was a way to clear them now officially. So I think they might have some code. They might not have done it right.
Yeah, because this is crazy. So it says it's passing. So
yeah.
I don't know what to say, David. I think we could.
Oh, you know what? Hey, wait,
Yeah?
wait. No, over here. We've had this turned off
64, you mean?
the whole time.
What line are you talking about?
No, add project. So over here
it's
you see this window?
Oh, yes.
Disabled. It's been disabled this whole time.
My goodness. Okay.
And I think when it's disabled, it
right, enable that, baby.
What? How do you enable it? I don't know where you got that.
You can do a right click in there on that. Yeah. Shoot. Well, that explains that.
So I think when it's disabled, I think it actually runs. It just doesn't report on it.
And
and so I think some of our problem has been that it's been disabled.
Yeah, I think so.
And
definitely that's why it's not updating.
Now, yeah.
All right, did it fail? All right, it's failing now. And this is kind of what I expected it to do. So look at this. Oh, which line is this now? It's this one. So this, do you see this one fails? Date equals date. And
it's the same text.
It's testing by value, the reference or something like that. It's not testing the value. But if I do dot description, wow, come on, baby.
Describe. Description.
Add that, and then maybe we'll get it to pass. Okay, let's run that and see what happens. Man,
So I'm still stuck here on the.
All right, that's okay. So now, if we add description to this, let's see if it passes. What are you stuck on, by the way?
I'm stuck on the disabling the test as a method by which you do something and then you can forget for 30 minutes that it's disabled, though it looks like it's running and it's reporting, but it's not showing up in your reports, and you're sitting here scratching your head out because you used the disabled function and it has no visual clue.
Yeah, I mean, it did, but it's way over here in this bar, and I didn't look at that for a long time.
It's insufficient. Yeah, it's an insufficient visual clue.
I'm with you on that one. All right, test is passing. So here's the thing, David. I was going to say, I expect us to have to whip out a mock object to solve this problem, but it's the granularity of how it checks for date is not being tripped up by computer speed. Meaning the test works, right? I was expecting to have to do some mocking on the date object so that we could get so we can have control of date and time. But go ahead.
It doesn't appear to be flaky.
Well, let's run it 4 times in a row. That's the magic number, and I'm going to run them all. And if it fails, then we'll know we need to handle that. Because you're right, maybe we're just lucky. Let's see if we got this one to do it too.
So that's one.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable with that, but I don't like to write extra code that I know I have to. So I would be willing to check this in until I saw that, nope, we got to do a mock object for that. And folks, if you want to learn how to do a mock object for it, I got a good resource to show you before we close the show on the strategy for writing tests where you have to control date and time so you can write a test for it. Because a lot of times the date object isn't, this won't pass. You'll have to do this mock object to control the date and time.
4 times in a row.
4? Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to call that good because I don't see any reason to do extra work for something that may not actually be a problem. All right, cool. So let me put this reference in here.
So I do like to control date and time. I wish I was a time lord. If I were a time lord, I'd be happy.
Oops, can I open a browser?
You can try.
Okay.
You want it to come over here into real time?
This. Whoa. Triple clicking just doesn't quite work so well. All right, coding stories.io and coding stories.io is a so senior developers out there, if you want to teach people how to write, if you want to make a tutorial that people can later follow using code, coding stories allows you to do that. It doesn't matter what language you use, it integrates using your, I believe it's GitLab account. So here's an example that teaches you about controlling time by teaching you a little bit about TDD and then why you have to learn mock objects at some point. And in this example, it walks you into having to control time. So there we are. Okay. Cool. So I think let's check our coverage report. Let's see, that's over here, right? And we go look at this. We've been running coverage the whole day.
I think that's just the last run that you did.
So all of Ultimate Portfolio is at 46% coverage. We've been working in
Project View Model. Right there, up 1 to 3.
We got her up
right
to
there.
70%. And add items 100%, add projects 100%. That's the one we just worked on, isn't it?
Add project.
And deletes 100%. Init is, we saw that we didn't capture we have coverage. It doesn't mean we have good test coverage, but yeah.
Yeah, we do not have any asserts on init. So that's a lie.
Yeah, there's some possibility we get indirectly coverage if some of that code is necessary to keep for our test run, but we won't really know that unless we actually go in and inspect that. How we would do that is you'd write another test case, test underbar init, and then you would write some asserts that check to see if the init is functioning correctly. Save item. I thought we tested save item. Oh,
those are the ones. Those are our little.
Yeah.
What would you call those? Those are methods. The database-centric calls.
Our I/O calls
that we decided.
Yeah. And so folks, if you're on a big project with a lot of code where it's hard to remember things like that, you might consider coming up with a naming convention so that people don't feel like, oh my God, you need to write a test for that. You could put the word I/O in front of it. Where am I at?
That's a good idea.
Change these and put like I/O in the front, or mockable, or something like that, just to help you notice that pattern. But since David doesn't have 400 people working for him yet, I'm not too worried about it. Though honestly, in a month from now, we'll probably forget. We'll go, oh yeah, but then we'll notice that they're one-liners, and we'll figure it out. So, because right now we have a comment,
But you don't know how many people I got in my garage.
That's true.
I got lots of
And
people in my garage
Texas
out there.
garages are big, folks. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Got to fit a big truck in there too, or a couple big trucks, big tires and all.
A couple of big trucks, yeah.
In Texas, they don't take.
Well, that was good.
In Texas,
we got.
David, do the clap test
all
again.
of those,
I want to see that.
Those ad.
I want to see you clap. One more time, please. Dang it, we're off today, folks. We've been trying to fix the sync on David. So he's from Texas, and the latency to get through that giant state is huge, folks. It's like going over to the moon. And so I thought we had it, but the clap test isn't coming out so well.
It's apparently more than 2 seconds.
Happened, man? Oh well, I know with that day we were working on it, it wasn't very solid. Well, hey, yep, we got it covered, man. We did some more reverse TDD.
We got covered.
We talked about mocking.
Yeah.
We didn't have to whip it out for that date time object, but folks want to learn how to do that because sometimes you will. It's there in coding stories. Is that it?
Yeah, that's great. What's next week?
Next week is good question. Oh, next week I am moving soon, folks. That's why I had to quickly jump off the stream to handle a call. Next week is nothing. Next week I'm taking a break because I got to go get packed up, and the week after that I'm going to get somewhat unpacked. So we'll be on vacation for the next 2 weeks unless David wants to, solopreneur his way to the next one. Do you want to solopreneur yourself? You just learn OBS and OBS would be a big one.
No way. No way. No way.
All right.
No, I'll be happy just I'll do some coding by myself. It won't be near as fun, but
all right.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Well, hey folks, that's a show. I'm gonna X out. Are you Xing out, David?
I'm out.